Well, it's finally here. Texas, welcome to the SEC. Locked On SEC starts right now.
You are Locked On SEC, your daily podcast on the Southeastern Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what's up, everybody? Welcome into Locked On SEC. Chris Gordy here with you, coming to you from the campus in Austin, University of Texas, as they are having their welcome to the SEC celebration. Of course, I'm Chris Gordy. This is Locked On SEC, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, our audio version, obviously on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. And man, what a day this has been. By the way, today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel. They got some awesome bonuses and everything else they're giving away for SEC fans, college football fans, college sports fans, whoever you are. Check out FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon today to get signed up and get started. And my goodness, what a crazy environment this has been today, with all the excitement of Texas fans coming to a new conference, coming to the SEC. We know Oklahoma's going to be doing it throughout Monday, but here we are Sunday, and Texas is having some fun here, being introduced to the SEC. And moments ago, we were able to catch up with Commissioner Greg Sankey as he shared his thoughts on the move. Here with Greg Sankey, just a quick thought on this rocking environment, man, and what this day's like.
You know, it's been a 3-year lead up to this day and the official entry day, membership day tomorrow. So it's exciting to be here, fun to see how the fans respond, and I think it's that indication how exciting our next chapter as a conference will be. And you'll be heading up to Oklahoma tomorrow to do the same thing? Yeah, we'll head up there right after the event tonight, be in Norman early in the morning, have a day-long event there, and with the celebration. And July 1st, 2024 is when it all begins anew. We'll be a 16-team league.
Media days in just 2 weeks in Dallas. Do you get a vacation at all?
Not like I thought I would, no.
Greg, thanks for the time, man.
Thank you.
That again, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey. Of course, lots of different dignitaries out here from the SEC, from Texas. Of course, we saw Athletic Director Chris Del Conte here, all the coaches, Steve Sarkisian, Jim Schlossnagle was around, of course, Rodney Terry, the basketball coach. So a lot of different folks coming through talking about this move of Texas joining the SEC. We did catch up with Rodney Terry a little bit, the basketball coach, talking a little bit about the move to the SEC.
What's CDC's message to you guys about this move? Because that's kind of, that's why we're here obviously today. Came back from the coaches retreat. What's kind of his message right now?
Well, it's been 2 years in the making for us to get to this point right now. And I think, again, our fan base is one of the best in the country, and we're Texas. We're excited about joining the SEC. We're joining a great league. But at the end of the day, University of Texas, we have a lot of pride in what we do and what we're bringing to the table as well.
Is there anything you think your team is not prepared for in this move?
You know what? Again, for us, from a basketball standpoint, we played in arguably the best league the last 2 years. The SEC is a phenomenal league as well. They put in two back-to-back years of 8 teams in the NCAA tournament. So from top to bottom, you're going to get great coaches, great venues. We feel like we have an incredible venue, the Moody. That's one of the best in the country as well. So we're super excited about being a part of the SEC.
Coach, is there anything you can do now to get ready? Do you start watching film on SEC teams or what?
Well, we played, in the SEC Challenge the last couple of years. We've had Tennessee, which has been probably one of the more physical teams in the SEC. But nevertheless, we get a chance to watch everybody play. A lot of respect for the coaches in the league. But I think we've been battle tested as well. And as a program, every year you're coaching and trying to max out your roster for that year. So, we've got some new faces and new guys that I think that'll be excited about the journey this year.
Thanks again to Rodney Terry. It's so fun being out here, obviously, an all-day extravaganza. We got SEC Nation is in the house, Paul Feinbaum and crew. They've been out here all day doing their thing with, of course, Jordan Rogers and Roman Harper and Marty. Everybody's out here, and they're making it happen. And so very cool to see all the Texas fans come out. It feels like a game day. It feels like we're actually going to have a football game kicking off here in a little bit. But there's no football game. It's all building up just for excitement on campus of Texas fans getting super fired up. There is a Pitbull concert ending things tonight, but It has been absolutely first-rate, first-class, everything here at the University of Texas in Austin, and excited to see what they're going to do in year one in the SEC. Obviously, football, the team is loaded. A lot of people are picking them as a favorite in the SEC, them along with Georgia. Of course, the basketball team is going to be super competitive. The baseball team, I mean, do we even need to bring up the fact they just stole Jim Schlossnagle away from Texas A&M? They're going to be loaded. So can't wait to see what they do in all the sports in Oklahoma as well. But no doubt, it's a party atmosphere, and the theme around campus today is, what time's kickoff? Are we having a game today? Because it feels like, and with the heat, I mean, it's like 99 degrees out here. It feels like it's opening week for, college football. But all this just to celebrate Texas joining the Southeastern Conference. It's been a lot of fun and a lot of cool. And we got some great interviews coming up. We were at the Manning Passing Academy actually over the weekend, and we caught up with Arch Manning among other quarterbacks. So we're going to bring you a little bit of our interview with Arch Manning here in a little bit, and much, much more you don't want to miss. So keep it locked right here. More Locked On SEC is coming your way here in just a second. All right, we're catching up with Marquise Goodwin, and man, it's did you ever envision this? I mean, you heard a couple years ago Texas coming to the SEC, but this is wild, right?
Yeah, this is wild. Definitely long overdue, though. I'm ready to see them play against these, top-ranked teams each week, as opposed to spread out through the schedule. So, being in the SEC, I know it's going to up the ante on the comp.
Yeah, I mean, all the NFL teams you've played on, loaded with SEC talent, and now we get to add Texas and Oklahoma to the bunch. I mean, it's like, is there even going to be anybody else left? Come on.
You really don't even need another conference after this, for real.
What excites you most? I mean, is it just getting to go to some of these environments you got? I mean, obviously Texas played home and home with Alabama the last 2 years, but getting to go to some of these cool environments, right?
Man, hopefully I'm not able to go to any of the games, because if I do, that means I don't have a job. So I'm a free agent right now, obviously, but I would love to obviously come to all the games that I can.
What was the greatest environment you played in your college career?
The greatest environment, the national championship game, 2009 versus Alabama, 2010, I should say.
Was there one college campus though you just loved playing? I mean, obviously the Cotton Bowl in Dallas is always fun, but was there one college campus you always liked?
I always liked going back to Lubbock for the simple fact that's where I was born, and a lot of my family would come back, and Texas Tech would be respectful of that, knowing that I was from that city, and they would, allow me more attendees and, just give me a space for my family because, I grew up there. I was from there.
Last thing, give me a quick thought on this team. I mean, Sark took the boys to the playoff last year, bring back a ton. What do you think of this roster right now?
Man, I'm just excited to see what they do. I don't have any projections. I just know they'll do well if they put the pedal to the metal, they stay on the grind, all gas, no brakes.
What's going to be the hardest part with Quinn having to adjust to bringing in a bunch of wide receivers to the portal, but talented dudes? Does it take a little time to develop that chemistry?
I've never played quarterback, so I couldn't tell you. I only play receiver, and I know my job is just to catch the ball and find that thing in the air. So I'm pretty sure he has great leaders in his coaches and his teammates holding him accountable. I'm pretty sure he'll adjust just fine.
And for the receivers, just get open, right?
Get your ass open. Ha!
But first, we want to remind you guys about our friends over at FanDuel. FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel.com/lockedon. That is where you need to go to take advantage of all the great offers that they got going there for you. Of course, new customers, they got daily bonuses and all kinds of stuff they are offering for you, but you got to go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. They got great lines up there right now. They got Week 1 action. If you want to bet on any of the SEC action happening in Week 1, including Texas is hosting Colorado State. Texas, a 33.5-point favorite over at FanDuel right now. So if you want to get in on that, you feel like the Longhorns are going to cover, you feel like Quinn Ewers will put up a ton of touchdowns, he'll be benched by the halftime, and Arch Manning will take over and do whatever he has to do. Whatever it is, make sure you do it at FanDuel.com/lockedon. Go get signed up, download the FanDuel app, and take advantage of all the great offers they have. It is FanDuel.com/lockedon, FanDuel.com/lockedon. All right, we continue on here on Locked On SEC, coming to you from the campus here at the University of Texas in Austin. It has been a lot of fun out here getting to watch all the Texas fans taking part in SEC culture, seeing the SEC logo everywhere. It's really cool to be seeing all this. it's Big 12 country, but it's now SEC country, and cool to see the Longhorns taking part in it. They're excited, and seeing SEC T-shirts, fans with the SEC logo on it, a lot of SEC merchandise in the stores and stuff. So really, really cool stuff to see. Welcome to the SEC, Texas. All right, we were over at the Manning Passing Academy in Louisiana over the weekend, and we were able to catch up with some of the SEC quarterbacks there. We'll bring you a lot of those interviews throughout this week. But first up, I want to bring you, we caught up a little bit with Arch Manning. He was talking first about being a counselor now. He's a guy that was a camper for a couple years, and now he's a counselor working with Uncle Peyton and Uncle Eli and, of course, Grandpa Archie. So here was a little bit of our conversation with Arch Manning, University of Texas quarterback.
Being a camper and then now being a counselor.
Yeah, I mean, obviously going through the cycle, it's been fun just growing every year and getting to spend time around such good people. And there's a lot of moving parts to this camp, but it works out every year with the rain or just people not showing up. But it's been awesome, and
Just tell me about that a little bit from the standpoint of, I mean, you have like 1,000 kids or whatever, and the way you guys just methodically go from station to station, and the kids get a lot of learning in a short period of time.
Surprised how organized it is, but we make it work, and it's fun every year. It seems to work out 7-on-7 at night, so it's kind of a family reunion for me. So I look forward to it every year.
And speaking of family reunion, all the Mannings in the SEC, they even had to have Texas move over. So tell me about that being an SEC quarterback too.
Yeah, I grew up going to SEC games, so it's fun. I'm glad to be a part of it. It's going to be fun.
It's kind of good, though, that Ole Miss and Tennessee not on the schedule this year, though, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a plus, I guess. But I want to play them eventually. They could be fun. Big atmospheres.
What was it like getting a little taste of playing time last year? The standing ovation against Texas Tech when you got in there. The nerves, a little jittery, but what was it like getting in there?
Yeah, I was a little nervous, but we were up by about 50, so that helped. But it was fun getting in some game atmospheres and seeing what it was like to play in the game. So it was good, and I'm glad I got to do it.
And then actually the bowl prep, having the prep as the number 2 guy, what was that like?
It was fun. That was good. You kind of, once you move up in the depth chart, you start to kind of feel the energy more as a backup, and it was fun getting to prepare for that, especially going back home for it.
You may have experienced big SEC country more than the Big 12. What can you tell your teammates about the SEC going into it?
Just growing up, being around it, I think it's a big atmosphere every week, and every week's a big game, whether the team's 3-7 or 10-0. It's going to be a big game, and that's what's most exciting about it.
What did you see from these wide receiver weapons? Obviously, a whole new room, basically, of new guys coming in through the portal with Isaiah Bond. But what did you see from those guys throughout the spring and starting to build that chemistry, you and Quinn, with those guys?
Yeah, we got some studs in the receiver room, and I'm really excited about it. Bond, obviously, Matthew Golden from Houston, Ryan Wingo, the freshman, he's a really good player. And then Isaiah Bolden from Oregon State, he's a stud. So we're going to have to use all of them and find a way to get them all on the field and get them touches because they're good players.
Nussmeier has stuck it out at LSU, and now he's just started. What can you say about the value of being patient in an era where the guys will start 1 year out of there? I mean, obviously you're from a family, you get a lot of advice, but talk about just being mature enough to I need to stay and learn system and figure stuff out.
I think everyone wants to play early, but I think it's hard to. I like the situation I'm in, and it was tough to stick it out at times, but that's where I want to be. There's nowhere else I want to be. I want to make an impact on the building and the facility and learn everyone's name, and that's what I want to do. And I think looking up to a guy like Nuss, it's a cool thing. Now it's his team, and I hope he has a good year.
Is it the hardest thing for a really good high school quarterback to learn coming to college? Like, you think I'm some kind of impact this first year, and then you start going through it. You go, I got to learn this, and I got to learn. Man, I got a lot more learn I thought.
It was definitely an adjustment. Just I played all 4 years of high school, and then coming in and sitting a year, and maybe having to sit 2. It's definitely an adjustment, but it's definitely, I think, worth it. I thought I learned a lot about myself and got to know other people better, and I'm excited for the future.
Our thanks again to Arch Manning, and certainly going to be a lot of fun to see what happens this year. If you missed it, Paul Feinbaum telling some people here on the University of Texas campus that he thinks that Quinn Ewers will not finish the year as Texas's quarterback. He thinks Arch Manning is going to finish the year as Texas quarterback, and it's it's what I've been saying too. Like Quinn Ewers has been injured each of the last 2 seasons, and so it's not the craziest thing to think that maybe Arch Manning could take over. Now, will Quinn get Wally pipped? I don't know about that, because a lot of the draft prognosticators have Quinn Ewers as a first-round pick next year. So if that's the case, if Quinn gets hurt and then comes back healthy, it's hard to envision a world where he's not getting the job back. But then again, Arch, if he's really good and he tears it up, that Manning pedigree, I don't know. It could be a world where Arch Manning is the starting quarterback for Texas and never looks back. Again, you can write a fairy tale about it, with the Manning pedigree and all that. I don't think that's going to happen. We expect Quinn Ewers to be the guy all year, but again, Quinn struggled at times last year. First half of that Oklahoma game last year threw 2 early interceptions. Of course, did lead them down the field for a field goal late in the game, and then Oklahoma answered. Then, of course, the bowl game against the playoff game against Washington, where the offense kind of struggled for much of that game, and then late in the game they were able to obviously put it all to come together on a late drive, but weren't able to punch it in, and obviously Washington prevailed. But nonetheless, it's going to be one of the big storylines to watch throughout this year, and going to be one of the big storylines to watch across all of college football, not just the SEC, as, again, got to get used to it. Texas being in the SEC, playing what some people consider a little bit of an easier schedule than that of what Oklahoma is getting, because Oklahoma, they've got the brutal schedule, and as you heard, we touched on with Arch there, like, they don't play Ole Miss, they don't play Tennessee this year, so they avoid 2 tough teams here in Austin, but still get some tough ones. Obviously Georgia, and obviously still have to play Oklahoma in their rivalry games. So a lot of interesting games on their schedule. But if we're comparing the two, obviously Texas got the easier draw than what Oklahoma got. All right, still more to come here on Locked On SEC, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Chris Gordy coming to you from the campus of University of Texas in Austin, and a lot more to discuss coming up after this. All right, pleasure to be joined by David Gbenda, current Texas Longhorn. What's this like, man, joining the SEC today?
Man, it's a great feeling just to see the crowd and the energy that's go along with the SEC stuff. It's really fun.
We knew this day was coming, but to see all the Texas fans out here, it's wild to see how excited everybody is.
Man, just like you said, it's almost like we're tailgating for a kickoff, man. There's nothing like the energy out here. It's just one word, it's just electric, man. That's what we got going on in Austin, Texas.
We've been talking to a lot of the guys. We talked to Arch the other day down at the Manning Passing Academy, but give me a little thought on spring, man. You guys, it's a loaded roster. You guys look ready to go.
And spring was fun. It allowed us to compete, but also understand and form the team that we're going to be, a very highly competitive outfit, and it's just the team that's going to bring our best, to the plate.
It's wild. You guys make a run like that last year, double-digit wins, you get to the playoff, but it's like expectations are, all right, do it again. And that's what's so hard, right? It's like you get there and it's like you got to get back and you got to do it again, but you got to just kind of clean the slate, right?
Yes, with that expectation, what we did last year was a great and a momentous achievement, and shout out to the guys that helped us do it, but it's a new team, a new standard has been set, a new season, new team, new division, so, the standard is staying, and we're always trying to elevate and raise the bar, so joining the SEC was just another part of the plan,
You guys brought in some transfer portal pieces, a lot at wide receiver, and a couple guys at defensive line. I know Big Dom Williams. What'd you see from some of the transfer guys so far?
I'm just seeing a lot of buy-in, but also, like you said, we're a talented roster, and those transfers that they brought in have been amazing. They've always helped us to raise it and elevate the level of standard, and they've also bought into the culture, and we've got to gel and learn how they operate and move. And people like Isaiah Bond, Narblack, and just other people like Tia Savea, they've just been constantly getting better, but also helping Texas to raise and keep elevating in the skill level.
What's the coolest part of coming to the SEC? Is it, the level of competition, national stage every week? It's everything, right?
Man, you said what's it like coming to the SEC. Me personally, you got to think about it like this. I'm going to go play against Georgia, then I'm going to go play against the old rival like A&M Aggies, and just the level and environments that we're going to go face, it's nothing like the SEC opponents that we're going to face. The level of competition week in and week out is going to be amazing, and just look at what we got going in. It's going to be like this everywhere we go, so I'm looking forward to it.
And not only great team success, but also going up against the best of the best gets you ready for the next level, right?
Oh, yes, it does. But that's what you come to a school like Texas to do. You come to the school to get the best education to go against the best of the best. And seeing talented guys from the Georgia roster and the A&M roster and the plethora of other teams is going to help us to raise that level for the younger guys to see the standard that it is, and also help me and others that are aspiring to go to the league just to be ready and prepared for that.
All right, to fully indoctrinate you in here, you got to try it with me, all right? SEC, 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 SEC. Boom. David Gbenda, thanks so much for the time, man.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me. Welcome.
All right, final segment here on Locked On SEC, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and subscribing and checking us out as we've been here taking in all the sights and sounds of the University of Texas. We caught up with some fans to see what they think about Texas being in the SEC. What's your excitement level here joining the SEC today?
I give it a 10. Is it a scale from 1 to 10? And I'll give it a 10.
What's the best part?
Free Pitbull concert.
But what about joining the biggest, baddest conference in the world?
I think it's going to be a lot tougher, facing Georgia and Alabama and more tough teams, but we're going to be coming in ranked, so I think we can come out on top and make playoffs again.
What's the vibe today? As Texas joining the SEC, what's the vibe?
I would say it's very exciting, very fun. Sorry, I had a couple of drinks, but I say we're ready. We're ready for the SEC. Whatever they bring to us, we'll be ready for that. The vibe here has been immaculate. I mean, it's been great. Super fun. I mean, I wish everyone could be here in Austin, but yeah, it's been really great.
What's the expectation for the football team this year?
Me, not to be ironic or anything, but I would want us to go undefeated, but I think we're going to do great. I don't think they expect us. I don't think they're ready for us. But just watch out, everybody.
Playoff team?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Win it all?
I would want that, yeah, for sure. But if not, I mean, I'm excited more than anything to be in the SEC. So,
general excitement level of joining the SEC. We knew this day was coming, but how's it feel?
Oh, it feels better than you could possibly imagine, man. I mean, being in the SEC, it's the best conference in the world. Texas being a part of that just makes it better. Everybody's known that.
What are you looking forward to most? Is it going to the tough SEC environments, all that kind of stuff?
That's it. Every game is a big deal. It means more in this conference. Every single game will be exciting on the road, whether it's here, there, doesn't matter. It's the best, without question.
What's the expectation for the football team this year?
National championship all the way.
You think they can do it?
I absolutely think they can do it. It'll be hard, but I mean, you got to do it every week. This program has done it before. They can do it again.
I think it's pretty awesome. Fun to get better competition. So.
You've been waiting for this day, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Major partying for sure.
What's the coolest part? I mean, is it getting to play in some of these tough SEC environments and play some storied programs?
Yeah, the LSU, Alabama, especially getting to go travel over there. Always want to experience the game in Death Valley, so that'd be pretty awesome.
A little bit better than playing like Baylor and Kansas, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, they're cheaper, but I mean, yeah, for a lot sure. Just going to Baton Rouge, going to Tuscaloosa, something that we look forward to. So.
Dude, it's going to be sweet being in the SEC. Also, we got Pitbull playing today, so that's going to be fire. Mr. Worldwide in the 305. But SEC is going to be awesome. Best conference in football, and we're going to kick A&M's ass.
With being the toughest conference, though, it's going to be tougher on you guys, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, schedule's going to be harder. We got, I think, like top 5 hardest schedule in football this upcoming semester. But I mean, it'll be all right. We got some dogs on the team. It's going to be chill. We got a great football team, great head coach. I think we'll be doing fine, and basketball will be easier too. So
a quick thought on you get to the College World Series and then Texas takes your coach.
It's tough, man. It's tough to lose, but hey, we're coming back stronger next year. Next year's our year.
No, you're not, bro. You're losing again.
Awesome. All right, there you have it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching us. We will be back throughout this week. We'll bring you some of our interviews from those quarterbacks out at the Manning Passing Academy. We caught up with Carson Beck. We caught up with Brady Cook. We caught up with, a ton of SEC quarterbacks. Jackson Arnold, the Oklahoma quarterback. We'll bring you all that throughout the week here on Locked On SEC. But remember to subscribe and keep it locked here. I'm Chris Gordy. Again, thanks for making us your first listen every day. Now you can make your second listen. Check out Locked On Sports Today. All the biggest stories in the sports world here for you 24/7 on YouTube and on the Amazon Fire TV Channels app. It's the Locked On Sports Today, streaming 24/7, all the biggest stories in the sports world. I'm Chris Gordy, signing off from the campus of the University of Texas in Austin. Go Longhorns, hook 'em, as they are in the SEC officially. Welcome to the SEC Texas, and soon to be welcome to the SEC Oklahoma. You guys have a great day, everybody.